All right, and we're live. Welcome back, guys, to another prince.petti video. Today we're going to be talking about... Okay, now that everybody's excited, I can do my regular thing. So, you guys said you don't like that, so I won't do it again, actually. You guys said never do that again, so that will be my last time doing that ever in my life. Rest assured. Today we'll be talking about... How rude of me. Welcome, Crystal. Welcome, T. Thank you for waving. I appreciate it. Be sure to leave a like on your way in also. It helps the algorithm. I don't think people will be interested in this video, so we need all the help we can get. Every single help we can get. We have a special guest today. We do have a special guest. I feel like I am not qualified to speak on every topic, right? I try my best, but some things are beyond my capacity. So at times I feel that I should invite people who might be more knowledgeable on certain topics to discuss them. Today is one such time. Welcome, oh hey there. Welcome, Faith. Welcome, Level Up Single Mom, and welcome, Sibster. We need to finish Baby Reindeer tonight. We can't keep pushing this back. I need to know how it ends. Finishing these greens. Love it. Yeah, I couldn't do 10. So I'll introduce my guest after we play the intro.
I come and slap by 8 p.m. and send a text to your DM. Come and slap by 8 p.m. I come and slap by 8 p.m. and send a text to your DM. Come and slap by 8 p.m.
Welcome, Professor Raz. Thank you for joining today. Everyone, this is Professor Raz, credentialed, qualified, academic, scholar. She goes by many names, but you can call her Raz or whatever you want to be called.
Thank you for having me.
So I want to, before we do anything, we're going to acknowledge that my intros always hit. Yes, I will gatekeep the music. I will absolutely gatekeep that music. Y'all are never getting it. It is special music made by particular people, not available for consumption. So I'm gatekeeping it. But hello, everybody. Hello, Aunt T3, no relation to my knowledge. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So, happy Saturday. There's a block party outside, literally outside my window. So I'm hoping y'all don't hear anything crazy. But y'all know how it gets over here. So before we do anything, I think it's important that we discuss something that I saw online. Because I do think this is important, right? And Roseanne, this is why you were invited on, because I feel like you are going to give us like the breakdown. You're going to give us the breakdown. So let's watch.
Hey, how do I make a tequila sunrise?
All right, so right here, you're going to pour tequila in right here. That's right. There you go, perfect. Orange juice.
Guys look better without that.
A little bit.
I'm going to pause. There's 15 seconds left. Do you notice anything about this video that you want to point out or talk about?
No.
Okay, let's continue.
All right. grenadine bottle, your ketchup bottle, and you're going to go right around your rim. Right around the rim. Perfect. Stop. That's it.
Got to trace around the room.
There you go. Serve it out.
Man, here's your rib trick.
Yeah.
What's your name?
Clara?
Put it on video.
So y'all aren't curious why Big Ed is working in a random bar somewhere, just serving people drinks? Y'all aren't. No. Nobody has any questions. Nobody has any comments. Okay, no questions, no comments. Before we continue to our next thing, I think it's important that you guys remember. Here, let me just pull it up. This is who Big Ed used to be. You know, I was very surprised when I looked this up. I was very surprised to find his young pictures. I was like, oh, okay. Because Ed be talking about I was a stud back in the day. I used to be just left and right getting women. And I promise you, I did not understand. I promise you, I did not understand. But maybe I can see the vision clearer, right? I can see the vision clearer. Maybe not so much in this picture, but in this one, yeah, I can see what he's saying, right? So, not like warm milk. It wasn't ketchup, it was a ketchup bottle, but I think it's probably some drink mixer or something like that. Now, as I wait for this to kick in, do you guys remember? Oh, and by this to kick in, I have a Mike's Hard Lemonade, so nothing too extreme today. We just want a little bit of tipsy. I don't use the word buzz because I'm not white and I don't appropriate culture. So, Roseanne, have you ever heard of I don't know their name, but there's a couple who they live in a storage unit. They made a TikTok about how they
Yes.
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 So I want to quickly pull this up. Let me give you guys a reminder because you guys don't remember. You guys don't remember, so I need to remind you. I'll put it on like 2 times.
There's something cold inside of the unit. Sandwiches, a lot of times we make salad.
Wait, this isn't even the right. Hold up. Is he in a different storage unit?
If we want to get power, we use our power bank.
Oh no, this is
They also
yeah.
have power here, so we can charge our power bank. Me and my baby will live here as long as we need to until we get the shelter that we want. Because we're living here now, we can save up more money to get what we really want. We're in it for the long haul. Thank you for the support. Thanks for watching.
That's interesting. I actually didn't remember this, but in the video, the original video, this is like a short snippet of it. I just wanted to jog y'all's memory in case you don't remember. But in the original video, I never knew he said this. He said, let's see. Let me make sure I heard him correctly because we're about to look at the update. Because I could have sworn he said, we're just staying here living like with the bare minimum until we can afford what we really need.
As long as we need to until we get the shelter that we want. Because we're living here now.
Until we get to shelter that we want.
Save up more money to get what we really want. We're in it for
we can save up the money to get what we really want. Okay, I think that's very important because we're going to go ahead and go to the update. I know you guys are like eager. Look at Big Ed on my screen.
There's something cold.
The caption, in case you guys aren't watching the screen, y'all remember the couple that was living in the storage unit and got kicked out after going viral. They did get kicked out, by the way, if you guys weren't aware of that original story. Brianna left him and went back to Chicago with her family and left him homeless alone, and he started having an episode, which we're going to watch a little of now. But what shocked me is reading Brianna left him and went back to Chicago with her family. Went back to Chicago with her family, because I promise when I read that, I thought she had a husband and child at home and she was just doing this side quest for some reason, right? But probably that means her mom, dad, whoever, right? Guardians or whatever. So let's see what they're up to now. Excuse me, what he's up to now. And then we're going to watch a video that's slightly before this video because people were saying they could see in her eyes. They moved from a storage unit to a hotel once they were kicked out, and he was still making videos and she was in them. And people said they could see in her eyes that she was about to leave. So we're going to see if we can actually see that. I'm going to put this on 1.5 speed.
Oh shit. Yeah. What is this pain shit? Why do human beings feel pain? Why? What's the point? What's the point of feeling pain?
Roseanne, what is the point of pain? Why do humans feel pain?
What?
You didn't hear what he said. What is the point of this pain S word? Why do humans feel pain?
He's tweaking.
Hmm?
He's tweaking.
All right. That was not an answer to the question, but I agree.
Pain. What's the point? Why does pregnancy hurt?
Roseanne, why does pregnancy hurt? I feel like he's asking some really
He's
deep.
not being fucking serious, bro.
He's asking some real deep questions, and I feel like you just, I don't know if you don't have the capacity to engage with
I
this.
don't, clearly.
Okay.
I'm joking.
I'll let him talk for a little bit. I cannot turn up the audio. This is as loud as it will go. He's talking very softly. Okay, anyway, I want to skip to my favorite part. Because he got a new job.
Gotta fucking go this lane to change my ways. And I'm going insane. High as flame. And I'm trying to stay insane. I'ma fucking go insane if I don't play. I'ma fucking go insane if I don't change. Fucking hate myself. I hate my ways. Fucking hate myself. I hate this game. This life of game. I'm going insane. Spitting like a dragon flames. I'm off the brain. Off the top. Off the brain. No cane. I don't need no cane to hold up Maine. I'm gonna just go my way and stay in my lane.
Yeah.
What rhymes with lane? Wait, what the fuck? What the pay? I get paid up on TikTok paid, TikTok blaze, and I'm feeling so blaze, about to roll up this game,
Yeah.
About to and you don't know what to say, pay, get paid, watch your fucking legs.
All right, I don't want to use up all my F-bombs for the video. YouTube does not look kindly upon those, sir. I just wanted to show that he's a rapper now, and I believe he's going to take off. Blueface took off. Nobody believed in Blueface. Nobody believed in Ice JJ Fish. They both have music on the internet that people listen to. So when this man becomes famous because of his singing ability, I want you guys to remember that. Now, he got upset at some people because they were telling him that he needs to get a job, right? They saw this video and they said, you need to get a job. Why are you living outside doing TikTok live begging for money, right? We didn't watch it in this video, but he does ask for some money. And people were all in the comments, why don't you go and get a job? Why are you in the woods? What is going on? Get a job, right? Basically. And he had a clapback, right? He had a clapback for you haters. He said y'all were jealous. Let me see.
We not getting a job. It sounds like y'all jealous because we found a way to make it work without a job, and you still got to work a 9 to 5, pushing 40 hours plus a week. That's on you. Don't get mad at us because we found a way to circumvent this shit and get out the system and get out the matrix. We living in a tent, paying no rent, saving up money every single month, more money than the average American could ever think to save.
My question is actually, this is a genuine question. What are they saving money for? Him, sorry, no they anymore. What is he saving money for? Because in the storage unit video, he said, we're just living in the storage unit while we save up money. We have so much money saved. We're saving so much money to get the place we really want. And then he's living in the hotel. We saving up money. We're going to save up so much money until we get the place we really want. Then he's living in a tent somewhere in the woods. I'm saving up so much money. Now, my question is, what money are you saving up? And I think the answer is people are donating to him on TikTok Live. And I don't know how else he's making income because he's out here telling y'all he is not getting the job.
Save. Y'all jealous because me and my girlfriend found a way to circumvent paying rent. So don't get upset with us and tell us that we need to get a job and we lazy, when in reality, this lifestyle is far from lazy. This lifestyle is very difficult. Most people couldn't even handle this adversity. So I don't want to hear y'all calling us names and calling us lazy. Y'all jealous because y'all got amenities and we dealing with shit without all that, saving up money, making it work without amenities, without AC, without heat, making it work. Y'all jealous. We don't need a JOB. We don't need AC. We making it work in a TENT.
I think that was their last video before she left. He said y'all are jealous. Y'all are broke. He has more money saved than y'all. Y'all are just upset because y'all have functioning AC and he's out in the heat like a real man. Let's see what the comment said. The first comment said, "This AC feels amazing." Second comment, "Living in a tent. Yeah, I'm jealous." Third comment says, "My job gives me dental insurance." Aw. Aw. Laughs in house. Aw. Laughs on toilet with bidet attachment. That was very specific, but agree. Wait until winter. Someone said, "I take 2 hot showers every day. Having hot meals, chilling in my AC. Yeah, I'm jealous. How do you save money without a job?" Let me see the replies to that comment. Panhandling. Wow. So y'all are going to accuse this man of panhandling just because he does? Anyway, I wanted to look at one more. One more. Because I wanted to look at her, right? People were saying that she just looks like she doesn't want to be there, and I don't believe them. So let me see if I can see it right.
White and she a girl because y'all look at women like they can't handle shit. They're inferior, remember? In society, women are considered inferior. So the fact that she making videos with me and we doing it together, this shit so much more hot and popular. It's on fire. People going crazy. Oh, she homeless with him? She should leave him and all that stuff. See, that's the thing. I'm riding that wave. It did something to my ego a little bit, but I was like, you know what? Ride that wave and understand why the shit is more famous. Because Brianna is the reason why the views is going up extra high, because she's a woman. She shouldn't be out here in the woods with me. She shouldn't be out in the woods anyway, because women can't handle shit.
And look at him giving her the argument to leave. This is wild. I feel like she is considering it.
So I've accepted the fact that Rihanna is the reason why I'm even like so popular anyway. I've accepted that, and it's cool. It's cool.
I think he's actually popular because for some reason he decided to record himself staying in the storage unit to flex on TikTok. And this led to him being, well, you can't be evicted. I guess you can be evicted from a storage unit. Eviction doesn't necessarily just mean from a house, right? So I think that's why he went viral. I don't think it's necessarily because he had a white woman living in the woods. But maybe.
It's fine. I love Brianna. I'm using Brianna. I use Brianna. We all use people. We use people for transactions. Don't you buy a product and they give you money? Y'all using each other. If y'all using each other for mutual, if a mutual relationship, it's fine. If it's a mutual relationship, it's fine. Use people. It's okay. We all use people. Using people has a negative connotation, but we all use everybody. It's okay.
We can do one more. I feel like we could do one more. He said he's homeless and smart.
And everything will be okay. Yes, that's what my mom and dad would say. Job. We want to make a video on how we too smart for that. We too smart for that. Homeless and smart. We too smart for that shit. Job, man. Get the fuck out of here. Y'all getting me crazy. Y'all driving me crazy with that JOB stuff. You know, my family hit me up and said, "I'm a punk. I need to get a job." Man, fuck all that. Job, dog. Talking about a job. I'm not getting no job. I've had jobs in the past, and those jobs, I've got fired at like 90% of those jobs. It's not for me. I'm an entrepreneur.
Roseanne, I believe she's checked out. Like, I believe if he didn't talk as much, I feel like she might. No, if he didn't record her, I feel like we're laughing at him, right? People are laughing at him because what he's saying is outlandish, blah, 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 blah. But also for him to be recording her, like even in the first video where they're in the storage unit and it looks like she just woke up from a nap or something, and he has the camera in her face, and this is Brianna. She's right here with me, living in the storage. Like, I feel like if he wasn't so flagrantly online, I feel like she might have stayed, but maybe the embarrassment got to her.
I'm self-made, so is she. And we not going to college. We're not doing none of that. Yo, we not doing that. Unconventional. We getting money our way. Self-made. What don't y'all get? We not getting a job. I've had a job, and I got fired from my job to do this. I was working at a job, so y'all can get out of here with that. Y'all can talk about something, get a job. I had a job. I hate working at jobs, but I worked a job because that's what I had to do. Bite the bullet to get ahead.
Okay. So that's all from them. I'm completely uninterested in commenting on that at all. I have no comments. I just wanted you guys to see. I do think y'all are jealous. Y'all are jealous of him because he is unemployed and homeless, and y'all have AC and food and live an easy lifestyle, comfortable lifestyle. You're not roughing and toughing like he is out here working every day on TikTok Live. How is his phone charged? Somebody said that in the comments. How is his phone charged? I mean, he has a generator.
Like a battery that he carries around.
Solar powered. Got it.
Yeah, or whatever. Solar powered.
So we can do a palette cleanser since that video was very low volume and low vibrational. We can do a palette cleanser and then we can get straight into the topic. So here, I'll give you this. This is a point of view. You're on the worst date of your life. Let's see what they have to give us.
Would you rather be a pirate, a ninja, or an alien?
Alien?
Oh, and you were doing so well. What's your favorite movie?
Probably When Harry Met Sally.
Ah, when mainstream met predictable. Mine's Avatar: The Last Airbender. Because, like, who even wants to go to a restaurant anyways, right? I mean, literally, what are we going to do? We're going on a date. Oh, we are zombie robots going through the motions of dating. La da da. Do you have any kids? How tall are you? Da, da, da. Appetizer, main, dessert. I can't afford that. Let's do something spontaneous. Let's go to the park. Let's read Shakespeare. So what's in your zombie preparedness kit? You don't have a zombie preparedness kit? Okay, I know what we're doing for date 2.
Razan, would you go on a date with him? All right. So
he has money.
Today's
Which it doesn't look like he does. So
today's drink of choice. We're done with the Mike's Hard. It was not hitting as much as I thought it would hit. So I grabbed a daily. We're gonna do peach smash. I love dailies. I actually love dailies. I haven't had one in a very long time. It's been like a week. But before that, it had been years since I had a daily. And it's literally like my favorite form of consuming alcohol. So Razan says she would date him if he has money. With that being said,
maybe.
Perhaps.
I need to know what I'm going through in life. Depends. Depends on how desperate I am.
With that being said, I'm going to play another intro to separate that from the actual live stream, and we can get straight into skin bleaching.
I would have been swallowed up. Have you ever been swallowed up? Swallowed up. Have you ever been swallowed up? Swallowed up. Have you ever been swallowed up? Been swallowed up. Been swallowed up. Been swallowed up. Swallowed up. Have you ever been swallowed up? Swallowed up. Been swallowed up. Swallowed up. Been swallowed up. Swallowed up. Swallowed. Been swallowed up. Swallowed up. Swallowed. Been swallowed up. I would have been swallowed up. Have you ever been swallowed up? Swallowed up. Have you ever been swallowed up? Swallowed up. Have you ever been swallowed up? Been swallowed up. Been swallowed up. Been swallowed up. Swallowed up. Have you ever been swallowed up? Swallowed up. Been swallowed up. Swallowed up. Been swallowed up. Swallowed. Swallowed up. Swallowed. Been swallowed up. Swallowed. Swallowed up. Swallowed. Been swallowed up.
Oh, he lost you at Go to the Park? Speaking of Go to the Park, either Monday or Tuesday, y'all, we have to talk about these men are taking their girlfriends out hiking, mountain climbing, ice climb, all this weird, strenuous activity, first date, second date, whatever. Been dating for a while, doesn't matter. And then leaving them stranded, and they have to figure out how to get up or down the mountain. And when I say like mountain climbing, I don't mean hiking up the mountain. I mean, you have equipment and you're hanging off of the side of a straight wall, climbing up to get to the next flat piece of land. And somebody abandoning you and it's your first time is wild to me. But what's more wild to me is in every single one of these videos, because they keep going viral, because I wasn't aware that this is apparently more common than I thought it was. Not saying it's common, just more common than I thought it was. In all of the comment section, the girls are like, in the comments, no, it's because I'm not experienced and I should have he didn't know I was on. One of them was anemic, I think, and he took her really, really, really high up on some mountain somewhere. And then when she was like suffering, he was recording a video and he put a laugh track in the background and basically was laughing at her and posted it for everybody else to laugh, instead of like saving his wife who was about to die. So there's a wild phenomenon going on. Also, in the future, and this may be the same video because I feel like it's the same type of vibe, right? Specifically the defense from the woman in the relationship where my husband or person just did something to me and I'm going to defend them. The woman who said God saved her marriage, I invited her on for an interview. She has not responded, so I'm going to go ahead and I had a video planned, but I thought it might be better to just have her here for it because people deserve a voice, right? In my mind, instead of to be talked about online like she's being talked about. She hasn't responded and her husband hasn't responded. So we're going to talk about God saving her marriage and how she's now going back and forth with people talking bad about her husband because he cheated on her and abandoned her they were married at this point, by the way. And I think the first time they had sex, she got pregnant. As soon as they found out she was pregnant, he abandoned her, like ghosted her. She can't get in contact with him at all. She finds out that he's seeing someone at his workplace. He's seeing some nurse or somebody and cheating on her. And this is what he's doing for the entire 9 months of the pregnancy. And she's just praying and praying to God, please bring my husband back. Please, God, bring my husband back. And a miracle happened. The day she was giving birth, her husband walked in and he said, I want to do better. I want to change. She gave birth. He got a call from the lady he was cheating with. And he said, oh, I'm busy. I have to go now. And he went to be with her again. And then over the next few months, he continued to be there with his wife, but then he would get a call. As she describes it, he would get calls and he would walk out of the room to talk to somebody, presumably the woman he was cheating with. He would come back in the room, oh, I have to go now, and go be with that woman. After a few months, this stopped happening, and then their marriage was saved. Praise the Lord. I invited her and him on to talk. They have not responded to my invitation. So I'm just going to go forward with the show Monday or Tuesday. So yes, it was hilariously bizarre. And I'm tying in the Popeyes parking lot proposal. I definitely am because it's related. So skin bleaching. Maybe I should separate that with the intro too.
You really want to catch fucking...
Nah, never mind. So skin bleaching. I want to briefly introduce the topic of skin bleaching and kind of why it's a controversial issue. Most of you already know this, but skin bleaching is a cosmetic practice and it aims to lighten someone's skin. Okay, that was actually very short. Yeah, that's a very short explanation, but that is the explanation. That is what it is. Some people may use it to lighten specific areas or dark spots, while others may want to lighten their overall skin tone. For the purposes of this video, we will likely be focusing on lightening overall skin tone, right? Although I think even lightening dark spots on your face or body, right? Cosmetic dark spots, not ones that might be legitimate sign of a certain illnesses, right? I think can be a conversation in itself regarding conforming to beauty standards. But for the purposes of this video, we're going to be talking about lightening your entire skin tone, not just clearing up dark spots. So the purpose of this video is I will be defending skin bleaching, by the way, in this video, so prepare, and apologies in advance. The purpose of this video, I think, is to provide a different perspective to hopefully encourage people to engage in conversation around skin bleaching in a less superficial way. I would like this topic to be treated with rigor. And what I think is especially upsetting is that when it comes to Black women specifically, the current critique, Black women being critiqued for bleaching skin, because skin bleaching doesn't just affect Black people, right? We can talk about it's happening in Korea and other Asian countries, and people of color, even in Mexican culture, I'm pretty sure, Spanish culture, whatever. So the point is, it's not something that uniquely affects Black people. But what I found is that when it comes to Black women being critiqued for bleaching their skin specifically, I think the current critique of skin bleaching is incredibly heavy-handed towards Black women, especially for it to be so surface level, in my experience, which sometimes makes me feel frustrated when I see conversations surrounding this topic, because more than meaningful discourse, it feels like just another excuse for people to bash Black women. That is what it feels like, simply. Some of you are saying you didn't get a notification, so I'm going to quickly send out one to the Discord. Razan, do you have any thoughts before I continue, by the way? I don't want to.
No, not really. I think like it's worth noting that skin bleaching became popularized by African and Caribbean women. So I don't think that it started in America. And I do think that that's a big reason it's misunderstood, is because it really is not as big of a phenomenon as it is in Africa and the Caribbean. So as someone who is East African and like someone who comes from a country who is very diverse, but also normalizes skin bleaching, I think it's really, I think I can add a lot to the conversation, because again, I find it's very misunderstood in American media. So it's definitely a lot more complex than just colorism. There's so many things that are integrated into that. So yeah.
Thank you. So to follow up on that, and as well as restate what I said, I think that the type of heavy-handed critique that's being levied to Black women who skin bleach is an excuse for people to bash Black women and not actually meaningful discourse around skin bleaching. The prevailing critique for Black women who skin bleach, as I understand it, is simply this: if you bleach your skin, you are self-hating, a self-hating, low self-esteem person with internalized anti-Blackness. This critique for me is too basic, and I believe we should be more meticulous with our analysis of skin bleaching. So I want to show you guys a few videos. In these videos, minorities debated on colorism and skin bleaching. This, by the way, is what inspired me to make this video. But minorities debated on colorism and skin bleaching. And while we will talk about the individuals in this video, I want to use it just as a jump off for a larger conversation, right? So we'll look at this woman who, she bleached her skin, and she also sells skin bleach. There are a couple parts to this. We're going to play, I think it's 5 parts. They're very brief. So I'll put it on screen now. You guys may have seen this, by the way. This just came up in my news feed because they just posted it, but apparently this was already a YouTube video from like a year or 2 ago. So people have already worn this topic out, to my knowledge. I'm late.
The whole bullying and things like that actually does happen. Like I've been bullied just for, well, I consider myself as brown skin, but back then I was like really dark skin, and I did lighten up like probably 2 shades, maybe 3 shades because of it.
Can you tell me why you started to bleach your skin?
It's like you growing up in school, you have mainly guys making fun of your skin color and calling you charcoal, calling you dark. So growing up, you just start to feel like, oh, okay, so okay, no one likes me because of my skin color. Like, okay, I see. So that kind of does something to your head, you feel me? And also we have social media. They do praise lighter skinned women, Latinas, whatever, pale skinned women. So that kind of makes you feel like you're not desired, you feel me? So, and that's why I started bleaching my skin. That's why I started skin lightening, because of it.
I'm going to go ahead and play the next part.
The whole bullying and things like that actually does happen. Like,
oops, I messed up my thingy. It's gone. Now I have to find it. Sorry, guys. I can do better. I will do better in the future.
I sell skin bleaching cream. Pretty controversial, I know, but I do have negative comments. People saying you hate yourself, you wish you were white, this and this and that. You're a follower, like just a lot of stuff. But I don't really like listen to it. I really don't care. I guess how society sees dark women, like we're basically the losing team. Like who wants to be on the losing team? I felt like lighter skin women, they were more desired and they get away with more and they have more privileges than I did. And also, I also thought that personally, I also thought I looked prettier lighter. And for me, I honestly I don't think it's a big deal because I feel like people want to be darker and people want to be lighter. So I don't see why it's such a taboo. I'm not ashamed of it because I kind of see the hypocrisy in it.
Being a lighter person, I do experience a tremendous amount of privilege, and I'm not denying that of you at all. I think what upset me about the skin bleaching is that a lot of mothers do it to their daughters. And from my own experience, sometimes your parents do it to you and you don't have the consent of the child, or someone like me could end up much lighter than I was in my childhood and kind of have an identity issue. And it's just, for me, it's a matter of consent.
I sell skin bleaching.
I want to point out the backlash. I want to mention the backlash she received, which I'll quote some of the comments here. But I just wanted to point that out because I'm watching this. I forgot I left a comment on this, or I replied to someone's comment 2 or 3 weeks ago. They said the self-hatred is real and it's sad to hear this. And I asked, is it self-hate if reality treats you that way?
Why?
Which we'll get into, but
why is Dove? Something in the US that, they just sell bar soaps here, but in Asia, they literally are selling skin bleaching. Asia and Africa, the Caribbean, we need to talk about how this is like a capitalist enterprise that is invested in people lightening their skin. That to me, I think that's why it's important to remember who benefits from people lightening their skin. I think the conversations, we need to talk about class and capitalism along this as well.
So why does makeup get a pass when it's literally the same concept?
You're internalizing the idea that being lighter skinned is prettier, and I get why. Obviously, I'm very privy to the societal pressures that would drive one to skin bleach. So I'm not trying to judge, but
you are though. You are though. But you are. And we just have to own that. Let's just own it.
I don't know how I'm judging. I literally acknowledge that.
That man was too aggressive. I have no idea why he came out like that. She was like, I don't want to judge it. Yes, you do. Own it. Judge her. I was like, damn. I don't know. Maybe I'm just sensitive.
I understand why skin bleaching is a thing. I have a lot of family that skin bleaches. I'm not sitting here pretending like, oh, just love yourself, blah, 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 like, or even questioning that you like don't love yourself. Like I understand there are so many pressures that would make someone want to bleach their skin in the first place.
Like why is Dove, something in the US that, they just sell bar soaps here, but
I just think that it is a consequence of like internalized like anti-Blackness. Like you've internalized something, and it's not to say that it's your fault. It's just like we live in a world and we absorb the various messages, and we are all impressionable.
I don't have much to add, but I do think that what I would like for this conversation to do is less of focusing on like your personal experience of skin bleaching in the business and more of just like you as someone who like had a lived experience of being darker skinned, like you saw, and like you like had like the material experience of like receiving discrimination and like feeling less desirable. And like once your skin became lighter, like it opened up opportunities and doors for you. I think that that's what this conversation needs to focus on.
Yes.
Of just like actual, like that is a very clear experience and example of colorism. Like it is real, it happens.
When
like
you're
I think
lighter, yeah, people treat you differently.
like that's what I think this conversation really needs to center on. Why is it societally that being lighter skinned has very clear material advantages of both beauty, desirability, romantic relationships, socioeconomic opportunities? Like this is real.
I just think,
What do you think first when you?
I just think that.
Okay, it was only 4 parts, not 5. So, first of all, pink shirt or dress in the back was giving me what I needed to be given. That was, I liked that. I do like the idea of understanding why someone might bleach their skin instead of like going in on them, like the man in the back was suggesting. For example, we need to judge her. We need to judge her harder. You bleached your skin. The skin don't match. We can tell it's dull, and why are your ears and neck lighter, and you still look bad. And this is, you hate yourself, is wild to someone with insecurity. That is, in my opinion, wild to say to somebody.
What do you think of
doing something because of an insecurity that's bred by
Like why
the society we live in?
The whole bullying.
What I wanted to do is I want to highlight the backlash she received in the comments section. This is also backlash that she said she receives generally, which I don't doubt that, especially if you sell skin bleach. I'm sure if you can buy skin bleach on Amazon, I'm sure you can go in the Amazon reviews. You will see this is anti-Black. How dare you sell, or something like that, right? I don't doubt that. So I believe her. But what I wanted to highlight was the main criticisms, which were accusations of self-hate, internalized anti-Blackness. Some people said also she was only doing this for male validation. Some other people call her weak-minded, and there were comments that are still making fun of her appearance, although she talks about changing herself because of that, being made fun of, or not being made fun of, but being treated poorly. So let's go through some of the comments. Some of them point out that this is sad. One of these comments said that her skin looks dull from the bleaching. Roseanne is more knowledgeable on that than I am. Apparently, skin bleaching has a look. But what I want to show y'all, hold up, because this was a whole jump scare for me. This is, whenever I think about skin bleaching, this is the first person that comes to mind for me. This is the first person. And so you thought we were, you thought we weren't going to notice. Roseanne, you have to say something. You have to say something.
Yeah, so unfortunately, I've seen this, like my family members, a lot of them with aggressively bleach their skin end up looking gray. That's like a sand color, or like their lips will be almost black, but then their skin is so light. And they look almost uncomfortable, like their skin just looks like it hurts. And usually there's hyperpigmentation, and you can see if you zoom in, there's a lot of like discolored spots. And as someone who is looking into skin bleaching through my dermatologist, this is exactly what she told me not to do, like to avoid. So this is what happens when you like bleach your skin for years and not take proper breaks and not use sunscreen. this is what happens when you incorrectly skin bleach. You end up looking extremely ashy and like a corpse. Can we go back to Megan Good?
What do you have against Megan Good? You said, no, I'll put her back up there.
Like, this is not a bad, it's not as bad as the one previous.
Oh, I've not seen one as bad as the one I just pulled up. I've never, more than Sammy,
I've seen
never
worse than him. Oh, that's nothing compared to what I've seen. But
I can only imagine what horrors you have seen.
this one, I like the, of course, the melanin. It just kind of looks, she looks a little gray, but I wouldn't say she looks horrible.
If you didn't know that these people, so this is what really got me.
She looks good now, so.
This is what got me, right? I don't know if this picture is real or doctored, by the way. I know that Sammy is not. Edited. Sammy is not. I know that much. If he is edited, it doesn't matter because this is actually what it looks like. So someone said pull up vibes. Let me see who that is. And if it looks a mess, you're in timeout. Hold up. Pull up vibes. I've never heard that person in my life. See, this is why you shouldn't drink before you stream. No, that is not the same. Oh, I was like, is this him before and him after?
Yeah,
no, that's Lil Wayne. That's Lil Wayne.
That's not
so
him.
Here he is.
But even looking at him without seeing a before and after, it's not him.
This looked like, never mind. That's very rude. I was gonna say
he definitely looks like he had skin, like bleached his skin for many years.
His hands crossing over his chest because like this is a man in his casket. And I mean that in the least offensive way possible. This looks like somebody, like my brother dresses and does makeup for people on their way, well, not on their way out, they already out, but on their way into the casket, right? So they can be the wake in the funeral. This is.
Can we look at more? Like, look up Vibes Cartel bleaching. And see
okay, hold up. Y'all are messy. I want this one. This ain't a part of the stream, by the way. We just
I'm just curious. Can we see? Now I'm just curious.
I'm so sorry. It is never okay to make.
Oh my god. He actually used to be so, like, his skin tone was very nice.
No, it's crazy. This is the good picture. It's crazy.
I'm like, it's probably worse than that.
Oh my goodness.
But yeah, so that's such a good example. Like, all the Sudanese aunties I grew up with, like, look like that.
So you gonna drag your aunties?
Yes, because they look crazy.
Does anyone have
like
one more?
12 shades.
Does anyone have one more person we can look at and then we can move forward? We're not. This is not even a part of the stream. Actually.
Bob Risky. I mean, it's not as bad. But look at Bob Risky skin bleaching. Yeah.
Nah, I'm not. I don't believe y'all. This is a bad picture.
No, Bob Risky looks like a struggle, bro.
Is that her in the bottom, in the top, in the left?
Yes. Bob Risky was dark skin as fuck.
I came here to defend skin bleaching today, and I feel like it's not good that we put these at the beginning of the live stream. I feel like we should have waited until after.
Also, Kim is a good example. Little Kim.
I feel like we should have waited till after I did my defense, and then we could have put these up. After.
I mean, we can still defend it.
yeah, we can. We can still defend it. I didn't say we couldn't. I just said you're making it hard.
This is a very drastic example, I think.
Well, so let's put this one. I feel like this is more defensible.
I know Bob Risky is trans, but she could have been a beautiful dark-skinned trans woman instead of light skin.
I think it's unfortunate that people feel the need to skin bleach, but I will still be defending it today. Right. So to go back to what I was saying, I wanted to highlight the backlash that the woman in the video we watched received in the comments section. The highlights, let's see, the highlights tended to be, the main criticisms tended to be, you hate yourself, you have internalized anti-blackness. I'm sorry, those pictures are popping up in my mind. They are popping up in my mind. I cannot scrub them. Other people called her weak-minded, and again, the comments were still making fun of her experience. So let's go through a few. Some of the comments, this is so sad. Her skin looks dull from the bleaching. That's where we got sidetracked. Dark skin is gorgeous and highly desirable, and that's why so many people hate on this complexion we have. To let that be known. I believe we should see more comments like this. I believe if we did see more comments like this, skin bleaching might be less of a problem. But unfortunately, that was the only comment I ever saw like that. Let's see. The bleach girl's understanding and experience with colorism is 100% centered around male validation, what makes it so surface level and disturbing. The next comment, she'll say all this and still not admit she did it due to internalized racism. The next comment, scalp don't lie, ears don't lie, knuckles don't lie, back of your neck don't lie. Only one person looks like they need moisturizer. The next comment talked about how it happens to every race of people. He brought up dark and light Mexicans and said this is the aftermath of white colonialism. I agree. Imagine materially changing the composition of your skin for the gaze of a fickle male. I believe she was putting forth, this is my personal belief, I don't know this woman at all and I can't speak for her. I believe she was putting forth an example. I don't think she did it solely because men told her this. I would wage that this is a critique from society, not just men. Like holistically, this would be from men, women. I don't know if children would discriminate based on skin color. I think children would probably just do whatever their parents do. So probably they would unconsciously, unless they're really young. Because I have never met a very young kid who sees difference in color. I never have, until they grow up and they've soaked in their parents' teachings or have soaked up the type of unconscious bias that society has towards dark-skinned people. So let's go to the next one. The next video. Bleach skin usually looks so sickly and unnatural. Skin bleaching removes the undertones and everyone who does it looks so bland. That's actually a critique I might agree with, and I wouldn't know more about this had I not I don't know if you know Youthforia or whatever the company is, but they came out with a tar black foundation that they said they were trying to be inclusive and include black people, and the foundation was literally tar black, jet black, like no undertones, just black like paint. This was there, and like there were some of the most dark-skinned women on TikTok trying on the makeup, and it looked like black paint on their face. So I learned a lot about undertones from TikTok. So if bleach skin take away your undertones, it might be a problem. People were saying it's sad. People were saying that this is self-hatred. It makes them upset, and it's so important to love yourself, right? So there are a lot of accusations of self-hate and insecurity. Let's move forward to the third video. Skin bleach is self-hatred. Somebody said, I want to be on one of these shows so bad because no one is coming aggressive enough for me. Skin bleaching is a huge problem. Someone said the skin bleaching woman is defensive because she knows she hates herself. The fact that she compared makeup to skin bleaching is wild. I think I would agree depending on the product, because I know that mercury is present in a lot of skin bleaching products, and I know that mercury can be dangerous. Somebody said that man was randomly aggressive. Definitely. Can the bald man go? We're asking the same questions.
I just think.
Let's go to the final one. The final one compliments the women who were in the room generally. That's what the answers were doing. Most of them were talking about white supremacy, as well as giving accolades to this woman, as well as the woman in pink behind her. So this is the type of critique that she has received broadly, right? What I want to recall is her story, right, in which she details her experience having darker skin and being treated poorly, and how after she began skin bleaching, there was an improvement of the treatment that she received. Regardless of whether or not you agree with this, I disagree. Hopefully, everyone here would disagree that you should treat someone better based on their skin color. But unfortunately, this is a reality that exists in America, in Canada, in Mexico, in Africa. And I can't think of a place where this doesn't exist, actually. If it exists in Africa, I don't know. I don't know what to tell the rest of the world. I don't know. I actually don't. But and as one person pointed out, this is probably from white people conquering everywhere, right? White colonialism. But more than detailing her story, I wanted to emphasize the importance of empathy and understanding people who might skin bleach, because to me it reminds me of the black sheep, right? This might be an inappropriate analogy. You guys can critique it if you want. I'm literally just making it up on the spot based on what just popped in my mind. When I think about someone who might bleach their skin, I think about a black sheep. And if you don't know, a black sheep is a member of a family or a group who is regarded as a disgrace to that family or to that group. And I want to emphasize it's not just someone who's different from the rest, but who is, because of that difference, regarded to as a disgrace, right? Maybe some of you might feel like the black sheep in your family. I don't know. I don't know if you guys even know what I'm talking about. But have you ever watched your parents, for example, or other family members treat your siblings like they are the golden child, the perfect child who does everything correctly, who walks the right way, talks the right way, has the right grades, and who has the right demeanor, and everything about them is just perfect? But you might be treated in contrast like the outcast, right? Your sibling might get praise, they might get affirmation, they might get all of the love in the world, but all of this is missing from your life because you are the black sheep, right? So it feels like every step that you might take or every move that you might make, right? Every little step I take, every little move I make, ignore that. We'll cut that out in post-production, right? But every step you take, right, discuss them in contrast with the other person who is just like the perfect being. Or even if they're not the perfect being, they're just treated with humanity while you might not be. You are like scrutinized to death. What if you tried to be more like that sibling? What if you tried to emulate them? If you said, maybe I want to be more like them. If I was more like them, maybe my parents would love me. Maybe they would treat me better. Would you call that self-hate? Because I wouldn't. I might call it a desire to be loved. I might call it a desire to be treated better, to be treated fairly. But I don't know that I would call it self-hate. Do I think living in an environment that is against you as a black sheep, do I think that this can breed self-hate? I do. I do think this can breed self-hate. Do I think it can breed insecurity? Yes. But I believe to sit back and call this black sheep, again, this is the analogy that I have in my mind for skin bleaching, to call the black sheep self-hating for trying to acquiesce to society seems off-putting to me. It seems off-putting to me. I want to talk about some societal pressures that, specifically beauty standards. First, we can do beauty standards, right? And how they might disproportionately affect people of color. There are societal pressures that I believe women might face, right? Obviously, even men are subject to beauty standard, even non-binary folks. But this tends to come down on women, right? This tends to disproportionately affect women. Societal beauty standards can put a lot of pressure on an individual to look a certain way or have a specific body shape or type. And the influence of these standards can affect a person's mental health in various ways. Beauty standards can increase the risk of eating disorder, anxiety or depression, social isolation, right? This is especially true amongst young women and young girls. and especially for women of color. And I think there's new research out. I haven't dove all the way into it yet, so grain of salt here. But it's not talking about anything we don't know already. It's just adding on. So it's when I say grain of salt, I don't mean that this study is useless because I haven't read it. I just mean I haven't read it, so I can't say with confidence what's in it. But the title of it was How Radicalized Beauty Norms Motivate the Use of Toxic Beauty Products Among Women of Color. A quick excerpt from that study. An article covering that study. A new study sheds light on radicalized beauty norms that motivate the use of chemical hair straighteners and skin lighteners linked to poor health outcomes. I believe they were looking at hair products in particular and other skin products that Black women use that literally cause harm to the body in hair. So among survey respondents, beauty was the leading reason for using both chemical straighteners and skin lighteners. Evidence suggests chemical straightener use has declined among Black women in line with the rise of the natural hair movement, while skin lightener use by Asian women remains steady, the study also finds. So there is a decrease, at least in hair. And for skin lightener, I don't think, when we're talking about skin bleaching, I wouldn't look to the United States as the example where skin bleaching is prominent. I would probably look to Africa and Asia. I would probably look to those two countries. So that's me assuming why there's likely not anything about skin bleaching in America. So what I was hoping, Professor Raz, if you would be so kind, was for kind of a historical context. This, I believe, is where I am lacking in my knowledge. But I thought you might be better versed. Cosmuex, welcome to the membership. Dab. Every member gets a dab. All right, I've never done that with someone on stage, but welcome to the membership. Every member gets a dab. You only get one dab. Please don't become a member, revoke your membership, become a member, revoke, so you can get the unlimited dab exploit. But yes, if you could provide more of a historical context, I think that would be where I'm kind of lacking in my analysis.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, hey there, said it's not analogous. You can come up later. I'll open the panel briefly.
Like, what do they mean it's not analogous?
Earlier when I said that when I think about skin bleaching, I think about the black sheep where you have this outcast. Well, yeah, you were there. But
yeah,
the black sheep.
I'm just trying to okay, so of course I don't have all of the historical context. I can only speak from personal experience and from sort of what I grew up knowing about skin bleaching and how skin bleaching has manifested in my life, in my family's life. So like I mentioned earlier, I am East African, and I think in Sudan it's super unique because we are very ethnically diverse. I would say we are one of the most diverse countries in the world because there are people who are extremely light skinned, like people who are 100% Sudanese, extremely light skinned, and then we have very dark skinned people. And I think the way that colorism plays out in Sudan is similar to how it plays out in other countries, but I think it's so different in Sudan because instead of looking to white people, they look to each other. And I think it's similar in America in that sense where, you know, if two sisters, one of them is dark skinned, one of them is light skinned, the dark skinned one is usually treated unfairly compared to the light skinned sister. And then, you know, there's that comparison there. But
yes,
I think
I've seen The Color Purple.
Yeah, even then, and I think it's quite subtle in The Color Purple.
It's like subtle?
No, subtle in the like their skin tone.
Actually, they didn't really talk about it. Actually, now that
I think it's more featureism in The Color Purple than it is colorism.
Because I think it was colorism too, but like you said, it's subtle. I didn't even realize it, but I don't think they overtly made like you're black, so I don't, I don't. You're dark skinned, so blah 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 blah. But the people with darker skin in the movie were treated more poorly. Now that I
Oh,
remember.
100%. I just mean comparing the two sisters, there isn't really a huge skin tone difference, but I think it's also featureism. To answer one of the comments, yes, 100% Sudanese people are light skinned because you can be 100% Sudanese. Your roots might not be 100% black, but Sudanese people, like Somali people, like Ethiopian people, are Eurasian because of colonialism. So ethnically, we are not 100% black as is, which is why there's so much. It's very complicated, but that's why there is so much diversity. Um, so, like, there's some Sudanese people, they are 100% Sudanese, but if we're saying like their actual genes, they could be like 30% black and then 70% Egyptian. So that's a very common mix in Sudan. But I digress. I think just growing up, I remember like one of my aunts telling me that she had a cream for me to clear up my acne, and I was using a skin bleaching cream um, without realizing that it was a skin bleaching cream, and so I was getting lighter. It was my father who like looked at the skin bleaching cream and realized what it was and threw it out. But I did realize like, and I was 10. I was 10 years old.
I thought you were I thought you were going to say my father was putting skin bleaching or something in my. I thought you were going to say
No, my dad was
something
actually really against skin bleaching
wild.
because my mom's light skin, my dad's dark skin, but my dad was very against skin bleaching, and so but yeah, my aunt who gave me that cream under the guise of it being acne, like an acne remedy, was actually skin bleaching cream. So that was kind of my first introduction
That
to.
is dirty. That is
I know.
devious.
And she was light skin herself. So I think she was sort of imposing that on me subconsciously. Or consciously. Um but yeah, that's kind of my relationship with that. And I find in Sudan that even the people who are already extremely light skinned um, will bleach their skin to get even lighter, which is quite insane to me. I don't think that that's something you see very often in America, where someone who is already quote unquote desirable, wanting to get as light as humanly possible, not for the sake of looking white, but simply for the sake, like, I don't know if it is for the sake of looking white necessarily, or if they just want to stand out amongst people who haven't bleached their skin. um and you can see the positive responses in Sudan. People in Sudan will typically get jobs if they're lighter skinned versus someone who's darker skinned. um there's definitely, I would say it's more dramatic and like more hyperbolized in Sudan than anywhere else I've seen, and in other parts of Africa as well. So it does, similar to India. I think someone said the caste system in India. I would say it's less like, it's an unwritten rule where they won't directly say they're discriminating because of skin tone, but it's definitely there. Um it's also very common for like dark skinned girls to be pressured into bleaching their skin during their wedding. That's a huge thing. I would say that's a huge thing in Africa. Very big thing in Africa. Very big thing in India and Pakistan. You'll see like these brides, like Indonesian brides. Indonesian brides definitely do it as well, where they will literally look white on their wedding day. That's a huge thing. Unfortunately, we're not anywhere near unlearning that. Um, I think people in Sudan have gotten better at their makeup, but they're still lightening their skin. So, yeah, I would say it's a lot different in Asia. Um, in India specifically, it's very normalized. Is that a Sudanese? That's a Sudanese person.
The one on the left looked like she was 7. That's the only reason I put
She's
it
South
up.
Sudanese, yeah. I would
She
say it's
is. She
even
is.
worse in South Sudan because they are
How did you know
more,
that? She is South Sudanese. Like that is, yeah, she is.
because I'm Sudanese. But I'm not South Sudanese. But just to compare, I also want to talk about that. I'm only speaking from the perspective of someone from the north side of Sudan. People in South Sudan are more ethnically similar. So they are, I would say, like 80 to 90% of them are dark skinned. Um, and I believe they are some of the darkest people in the world. So like colorism looks very different in them, and I really cannot speak to how colorism operates in South Sudan, because a lot of South Sudanese women are actually like models because of their skin tone. So I don't know if it's being embraced. I know that colorism exists, of course, and I know that bleaching exists in South Sudan. I don't know to what extent, but I will say it's an epidemic in North Sudan. That's pretty much all I have to say about the history of it.
Thank you.
Do you have questions?
I don't, but I was going to say, I think we're doing a poor job of defending skin bleaching. I actually think we're doing a poor job. I feel like we're making more
Well,
of.
we're just giving all the context, and then we can talk about um, how we feel about it.
So let's talk about, to provide some defense. Let's talk about the statistical reality, right? Let's talk about studies and data. And present studies and data support the claim that having lighter skin often leads to better treatment and opportunity in various societies. Probably the most important thing, colorism is a field in which there is an entire body of research already available and probably will continuously come out as long as colorism exists. We already know that people with darker skin tones face penalties by virtue of being darker skinned. With lighter skinned people, for example, being paid more for the same work, a substantial pay disparity exists that would not be explained by individual or job characteristics. And we've seen real world example as well. We haven't seen her experience, but the woman in the video that we watched on TikTok gave her experience of being treated poorly by, she spoke about men. I think she spoke about this as an example. I would guess that she feels treated better by people generally.
I
But
forgot to mention something important. I'm sorry.
Mhm.
In Sudan, I forgot to mention this, but people compete, like they compare, like if you have a shitty bleach job done on your body, that says a lot about your class. So someone who has so someone who has like a better bleaching outcome is rich because they can afford better ingredients. So people are competing, the bleaching Olympics, basically.
A caste system. Understood.
Yeah.
So we also saw the woman who talked about her dating experience, being lighter skinned. I can't believe I can't immediately recall this. But I'm pretty sure there's colorism in dating too, obviously.
Um,
I don't know that I actually don't know that I've ever done research on colorism in dating, like deep research. So
there
I'm
is
not sure on
research, but I don't know much about it.
that.
There is research, but I honestly haven't looked into it.
Yeah,
It's
that's
not heavily
surprising.
cited, to be completely honest.
I'm actually surprised. I feel like I would have looked into this before, but I haven't. So I'll stay quiet on that, right? But she talks about dating, and I'll just say I believe her personal experience is generalizable, but this is not a substitute for data. So obviously, do your own research and don't take what I say as law. I do believe that darker skinned women are treated more poorly in dating. This is not something I need to look at a study for, because I've already looked into research around Black women in particular dating and how their experience tends to be worse. And what's surprising is that it tends to be worse with Black men specifically. And someone pointed this out in the comment section earlier when we were looking at her talking about how men would treat her so poorly when she had dark skin, but they would treat the light-skinned women so much better. Light-skinned and white women, biracial women, right? Anything but black. And once she started lightening her skin using the product, she noticed a remarkable difference in her personal experience. This is something that I believe might be generalizable. I have no data that I can immediately recall to support this, aside from looking at kind of dating and marriage in the Black community. I feel like we've talked about a lot before, and it does not look pretty. It does not look pretty. So, questions, concerns, comments. Okay. So, do you think there might be any other reasons for skin bleaching outside of acquiescing to society? Do you think there might be like a personal choice,
A personal preference.
not related to self-hate?
I think that unfortunately everything is related to the societal indoctrination or whatever, like the societal expectations. Unfortunately, I don't think that you can have a preference without it being attached to that. However, I do think that once you've acknowledged what it's attached to, you can choose to dismantle it, or you can choose to acknowledge it and realize that, okay, this is what's happening, but continue the action. Sorry, go ahead.
Do you think economic or social mobility might be a factor in someone's decision to skin bleach? Or is it
100%.
specific?
I want to compare. I don't know if this is a good comparison, but I do think that, I mean, white people tan, right? And aggressively tan to the point of almost looking like they're doing blackface. Right. So I'm just like wondering, and what is that attached? Like, it's not really attached to anything for them except aesthetics. And I know it's difficult to detach lightening your skin to that, but I also think it's important to recognize, like, can we get to a point where it's just an aesthetic choice on both ends of the spectrum?
So you talk about, I guess, well, a societal influence would be different than a cultural influence, for example, right? Do you think there's a cultural influence that might lead someone to use these products, but not for negative reasons or colorist reasons? Or
Yeah.
no? Is it always, do you think
If you, I mean, it's the same thing with relaxing. Like, some people relax their hair for the sake of maintenance. Or not maintenance. Yeah, for the sake of like easy maintenance.
But isn't, when you say easy maintenance, isn't that only because you're not letting your hair?
No, genuinely. And here I'm gonna interrupt, because genuinely, as a hairstylist, it is very difficult to take care of natural hair. It is very difficult. I'm not saying that it's impossible. I'm not saying it shouldn't be done. But it is very high maintenance to get your hair. Like, if you want tailbone length hair, that's very difficult to do when you have your natural hair texture out 24/7. It's not impossible. It's obviously been done. For people with 4C hair have had hair longer than that. Like, that's absolutely possible, but it's absolutely high maintenance. And so if you need to relax your hair, if you need to get a chemical straightener, if you need to consistently keep your hair straightened in order to maintain your hair, at that point it's a practical choice, detached from outside factors, in my opinion. And I'm speaking as someone with who consistently blow dries and straightens their hair. I do it literally. It has nothing to do with the fact that I don't like my hair texture, but
So I have a question. It may be a difficult one. You said that, I assume you believe that it is impossible to make any decision about your appearance with zero influence from society, like zero.
It's not possible. Even the concept of hair, like people are saying here, like even the concept of like growing long hair. You can want long hair, but why do you want long hair? Of course you want long hair because you're taught to it makes you look more feminine, or it's attached to our ideas of femininity, or it's attached to our ideas, or some people want to just disprove the notion that Black women can grow long hair, and so they want to grow long hair to prove it. Some people literally make it a mission to do that. So it is I wouldn't say it's impossible, but it is very difficult to detach the two.
So with this, I agree that I don't know that it's possible to make any decision with zero influence from
No,
society.
it's impossible.
So we are in agreement there. It is not possible, or at least it's very difficult to make any decision about your appearance without influence from society. How much influence should be the cutoff? I know that might not be a fair question. I feel like it's a hard question, but when we talk about not just skin bleaching, but generally like cosmetic surgery that one
Yeah.
might get for oneself, or even
Exactly.
makeup, working out.
I think like let's just talk about skin bleaching again. For example, I'm gonna just give this example. If someone in Sudan is surrounded by people who are getting jobs because their skin is lighter, they're getting opportunities, they're succeeding in life, they're able to do things that they want to do. At that point, like your success in that area would matter more than you appealing or not appealing to societal notions of your skin tone. At that point, I think it's like a survival mechanism. It's also something like you can't escape it, unfortunately, in that society or in any society. Like in Jamaica, it's the same situation. Same situation. There's been many documentaries made on this situation in Jamaica specifically. Huge there, and most of the Caribbean, but I would say Jamaica mostly. Like at that point, you need to survive. At that point, you need to excel in life. So, colorism aside, like you have to kind of turn a blind eye to that and just do what you need to do to survive. But in a situation where you're in the West, where you don't, not all your opportunities are determined by the way you look. I think what you want for yourself and what makes you feel happy should supersede anything else. But I do think it's important to at least be aware of the impacts of societal expectations. And a lot of people do these things without being aware, without understanding the history, without understanding the detrimental impacts. And I think then you'll at least be more conscious of, like, for example, if someone sees this and they're like, I still want to bleach my skin, at least they're going to do it without burning their skin off. But if you just go into it based on emotion, you could end up with melanoma easily.
Who?
Skin cancer. Skin cancer.
Yes. So
don't do things based off emotion. I don't think you should just do things based off societal pressure alone and do things based off emotion alone.
I have a whole chart that I wrote. It's like a spreadsheet that I wrote where I have to wait like 3 hours and see how I feel. Then I need to wait 3 days and see if my feelings have changed. If they have, then I need to wait 3 weeks and then revisit. And if there's like a slight change in my feelings, then I need to wait. Like this has saved me from so many tattoos that it hasn't saved me from every tattoo. As you know, my child's mother name is on my hip, but it has saved me from a lot of embarrassing tattoos, I feel like, and a lot of Well, I haven't considered procedures like that, so I won't say that. But it has saved me from some tattoos. I agree. Emotional cosmetic procedures, no. Think, sit, let it
But
marinate.
like, unfortunately, that's what drives people to like surgery addictions, like plastic surgery addiction, is they do things based off emotion and based off how satisfied or dissatisfied they are. And if that's your only measure for making a decision, you're obviously going to make stupid decisions. So I think it's not about, well, how much of your decision should be determined by society or by yourself. I think it's having a balance of all of them.
Are you looking at the screen?
No.
Can you look at the screen real
I
quick?
am looking at the screen.
Okay.
What are you doing?
Why is it doing that? It's so stiff.
They're
Why?
asking about your baby's mother.
Yeah, she stabbed me.
Don't say.
I think
You don't need to tell them.
we had a real love.
I keep forgetting.
I did no stabbing. I did none.
Is the scar still there?
Yeah. Oh no, I covered it up with her name, which is like soap. In my mind at the
Have
time,
I ever seen this tattoo?
maybe.
You keep your. I don't know how many you have.
I think it was on my Instagram, but you made me Razan, guys. If you guys don't know, Razan made me clean up my Instagram. She
I
said,
made him delete everything.
This is so unprofessional. What are these pictures? What are these videos?
was
This is
embarrassed.
not fitting for a social influencer, social media influencer. There was a video of my booty cheeks out, as my Discord knows.
I was embarrassed. I was so embarrassed.
Razan was embarrassed to be my friend and required a higher Instagram level. Like, you at least average. You can't be below average. So I had to cleanse
And
everything.
then you went viral so many times when we cleaned it up.
I don't care about virality. I care about me.
But my point is, people started looking at your account more.
So I see some people saying stuff about hair maintenance, and I see some people who said they disagree with the analogy I had on Black Sheep earlier. If you would like to come up, the link is there. I will conclude, if Roseanne, you have nothing to add, or if you do, you can add after. But I will conclude by saying I think the main purpose of this video is not to say that skin bleaching is like 100% okay, guys. I have no idea why anyone's critiquing it at all, but rather to encourage you to approach the topic with empathy and understanding, and maybe to consider broader societal issues at play, specifically when you're talking to an individual whose skin bleached, who is not Dave Ramsey. No, not Dave Ramsey. What is that man's name? Sosa. Whoever Sosa. Do you know who I'm talking about? Here, let me pull him up.
No.
Sammy Sosa. So, wow. I'm sorry. Every time I pull him up, I'm like, I'm hit again every single time. This is so. Why is he wearing that hat? He looks. You know that man from.
That is. Okay.
You know that man from Get Out.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway,
he looks terrifying.
Oh my goodness.
Do you have any defense for skin bleaching?
I think instead of critiquing skin bleaching, you should critique why are we in a society where someone might want to bleach their skin. I do not think we should call people who do this self-hating. Like I responded to the comment earlier, they said, if you skin bleach, you hate yourself. You obviously hate yourself. Is it self-hate if you live in a society that does not like people with black skin and you don't want to be terrorized? And I know terrorized is a strong word, but I will.
You do get terrorized 100%.
You don't want to be terrorized every single day. And when I say every single day, I do mean every single day. Even something as hair, what I've gotten towards my hair, I won't say here, but my coworker said something to me at we had a monthly meeting like last two or something weeks ago, and my braids were fresh at the time, right? They weren't doing this, and my haircut was haircutting, and I had a clean shave, like everything was looking crispy. And he commented on how much less crazy I looked and how like presentable I
crazy.
looked and
That's wild.
blah 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 blah. I'm saying the PG parts. But what he was comparing me to was the first time he met me where I just had my hair out kinky coily 4C. Mind you, it's not like I don't groom myself. I don't have a choice. Like there's a company policy. I have to be somewhat groomed. They're okay with this, but like I can't go
tarantula ears or tarantula legs.
like weeks without a haircut or facial hair looking like I'm homeless or something, right? Um, there's a certain standard. But so he met me while I have kinky coily hair 4C. Yes, he was white. And it's not like my hair is untamed or something, but it might as well have been to him. This is not like this is a frequent critique I get when I have my hair out at work, where it is predominantly white. Unfortunately, there aren't a lot of black janitors in the field. I've never even seen another one. But so if this is like hair, I can't imagine what it means to skin. If this is hair, I can't imagine if your whole body was covered with something people don't like and you had to deal with that every day. So when we're living in a society that treats people with dark skin as if they are just the worst thing to ever exist, and someone says, I don't want to be terrorized every day, what comes to mind for me is Kidology actually made a video about this a long time ago. This video absolutely impressed me. I was very let down with the rest of her content, but this video absolutely impressed me. She made a video about rhinoplasty. And in this video, she talks about cosmetic surgery a little bit generally, but when she was speaking about rhinoplasty, she mentioned a specific time period in Germany where Jewish people are being targeted, right? Because they, there's a sort of stereotype that Jewish people have a big nose, blah, 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 blah. Yes, this is my argument, by the way, but there's, let me see if I can quickly Google a synopsis of this. Because there's a this was a sort of Nazi propaganda about the quote unquote Jewish nose, which was an anti-Semitic ethnic stereotype referring to a hook nose and blah, you already know, right? So there was rhinoplasty, to my knowledge, advanced. A lot of advancements in rhinoplasty were due to the frequency of Jewish people wanting to reduce the size of their nose while living in Nazi Germany. The idea that someone might change their appearance because society torments them does not, for me, it does not read like self-hate. I wouldn't say these Jewish people obviously hate their nose. They have self-esteem issues and they just hate Jewish. They have internalized anti-Semitic thoughts. I wouldn't say that. I would say they're trying to survive in a society that is trying to kill them. This is what I think skin bleaching is, essentially. I think people are trying to survive. Obviously, this is not a one-to-one comparison, right? I think people are trying to survive in a society that does not like them. Do I think this can be because of insecurity? Yes, I do. Do I believe there can be internalized anti-Blackness? Yes, I do. That, however, is too crude of a conversation for me. I would like more meticulous conversation around.
Agreed. I do think we need to just be more compassionate towards, like, if this person, let's say this person does hate themselves, which is what the argument is typically, why are we being even more nasty towards them? Like, I don't understand, what is that accomplishing?
That also upset
trying to
me.
survive. Like, do they not just, let's say they're actually struggling, do they not deserve compassion if they are in survival mode, or if they are in a place in their life where they need to do this for their self-esteem, for the betterment of them, of their self? Like, why do we look at them with such disdain? Or why do we pity them? Like, do they not, like, I feel like we should just humanize these people and have productive conversations around them. Like, I don't understand.
Have you ever heard of The Boys,
No.
the TV show
No.
with the superheroes,
I've seen it, but
Homelander.
I've never watched it.
So there's a character called Starlight. I forgot who her actor's name is, but people were making fun of her appearance. This is like a long, long time ago, like season 1. And she got some cosmetic surgery recently. It is noticeable. It is very noticeable, and people are going in on her. They are going in on her, and I'm like, the reason she got cosmetic surgery in the first place is because people were going to, well, this is not necessarily the reason, right? I don't know her, but if I became famous overnight because this show just did amazing numbers, and every negative comments are so difficult to not look at. Ask Miss Netta and Charles. So, do you know who those people are?
No.
Okay, so
I'm just saying I said 100% because I understand what hate comments can do to a person.
So the idea that someone changed their appearance because of this, and after changing their appearance, it's like, did we learn nothing? Now we're gonna go, wow, look at her. You can tell she has filler over here. And I feel like now she about to head right back to the doctor. Can you make the surgery less noticeable? Can you take this out, put it here, slide it over there? And I'm wondering what our goal is when we're speaking to people who we do think are insecure. I don't know if she's insecure, but let's say they are insecure, so they decide to change themselves or bleach their skin or whatever have you. What is our goal when we're having conversation with these people? Like, how am I?
Like, I feel like when people see someone who bleached their skin, especially on TikTok, I see this more on TikTok, they take it upon themselves to scold this person into, or shaming them into stopping the skin bleaching, or like making a video crying saying that they're gonna stop. Like, I don't know what, I think that is what they have in mind. Like, oh, like, I love my blackness and you don't, so let me talk down to you, is what I think the line of thinking is.
Maybe that's what upsets me. It feels vitriolic. Like,
It's very condescending.
how dare you bleach your skin? Don't you know that black skin is beautiful? Everyone loves black skin. Feels like such a, number one, a gaslight. If you're telling me in America everyone loves black skin, even if you're telling me within the black community specifically, everyone loves black skin and uplifts dark skin so much, that is ludicrous, and that is a gaslight.
If people uplifted black, like, why are the more dark skinned women not being chosen then? Like, because it's not true. Unfortunately, like, it's not unanimous. You might love my dark skin, but in, like, especially on dating shows, how many black women, specifically dark skinned women, get mistreated on these shows and get sent home within 2 episodes?
Some people,
if not even a full episode, like, if they last, it'll be 2 days.
Some people quietly watch the stream, but some people quietly leave a like and subscribe as well. Veronica asked if you could expound on shame as well. I think shaming is generally bad. I was actually surprised that, I was surprised that a lot of people disagree with me. Specifically, I can't remember what conversation this was, but I talked to Cynthia about shaming black women who blah 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 blah. We were talking about something. I have no idea, but I think people believe shaming is a good tool to change behavior. I think this was Cynthia's position. My position was that shaming actually doesn't work. I believe I was research backed, but I can't remember the conversation we had too well. So I think there's a sort of, like, any type of shaming that you can think of, like slut shaming, fat shaming, right? Close your legs and it's your fault you had sex with him, so blah 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 blah, right? The type of single mother shaming, I think, is what I just mentioned. But I don't think these things actually, what is our goal when we do this stuff, and does what we're doing accomplish that goal? Because I don't believe telling someone to close their legs is going to fix single motherhood in the black community.
Exactly.
Single motherhood is probably related to people being dishonest. If you look at the age of single mothers, some children who are becoming single mothers before the age of 18 are with some grown people, which I feel like needs to be talked about more. People lie, people misrepresent themselves, people have unprotected sex knowing they don't want to take care of their children. One person decide to take care and one person decide they're going to leave. And this is a much saying close your legs does not fix all of these issues. It doesn't address all of these issues, and it doesn't do anything besides, I guess, gratifying. Some people feel gratified when they say close your legs, or you need to lose some weight, or you hate yourself, you bleached your skin. So welcome, Indica.
I feel like um I feel like it's very important to just give Black women and extend them a lot of grace, which I feel like shaming them does the exact opposite of that. It's um making it like, even let's say it is a mistake, or let's say they're doing it to a point where it is hurting themselves. Um it's coming from a place of hurt a lot of the time, especially when it is on the more extreme end where someone is bleaching at an unhealthy extent. Um yeah, it doesn't really accomplish much to double down on what a bad situation. I think if anything, it will cause them to hide it and not show their face and hurt themselves in private. And it could be, there could be even worse consequences. I just think, yeah, I don't like it. It's icky to me. And I feel like, especially when it comes to Black women, we really need to extend so much grace, which we don't do enough of.
Oh, Black women who bleach their skin get an 8 up. I be looking in the comment section
By
on,
everyone. They
they are
literally
getting
get ate
8
up by
up.
white people. Like, what the fuck? I see,
I
and
don't,
what bothers me the most is a white person be like,
white,
why
yeah.
do you bleach your skin? You're so, shut up.
Oh my
Like,
God, my chocolate queen, you shouldn't bleach yours. I mean, I don't know. That it's not that the comment is inherently bad. Shaming, I would say, is bad. What I just said, I don't know if I would call it shaming. I would call it virtue signaling or something else. But the idea of a white person coming to shame a Black person for bleaching their skin is wild to me. But I think I've said everything that I want to say. I did post a link in case someone who disagreed, or I think someone said they disagreed with the analogy I made earlier. I don't know why. I feel like it was a great analogy. I feel like I knocked it out of the park. Such an amazing job. But some people disagreed. Oh, the banner: men control trees, women control fruit. That's an inside joke for the Prince Petty channel. And if you don't get it, you just gonna have to go and watch the video and get it. You just gonna have to go back and watch the video and get it. But just know that men control. It's an Adam and Eve joke because people blame women for children.
oh,
So it was anyway, sorry. Now, this is the last time I will be re-explaining that joke so everyone here is inside. With that being said, thank you, Razan, for your perspective. Be sure to leave a like on the video if you enjoyed it, or a dislike if you did not. And be sure to subscribe if you would like to see more. We are going to have an after show because I have some stuff to show you guys that I think is very important. Razan, do you have any final words?
no.
With that being said, thank you, everyone. I'll play my interlude and then we can get into our after show.
I would have been swallowed up. Have you ever been swallowed up? Swallowed up. Have you ever been swallowed up? Swallowed up. Have you ever been swallowed up? Been swallowed up. Been swallowed up. Been swallowed up. Swallowed up. Have you ever been swallowed up? Swallowed up. Been swallowed up. Swallowed up. Been swallowed up. Swallowed. Swallowed up. Swallowed. Been swallowed up. Swallowed. Swallowed up. Swallowed. Been swallowed up.
Okay, so Razan left. I didn't give nobody permission to leave. Sorry, let me send this text. Okay. She texted before I could text back. Well, I guess hold up. I have to ask if she wants a plug. I feel like it would be wrong to invite her on if she had like social media that she wanted you guys to follow and I didn't plug her after her work. So I could also pay her a percentage of this video. I could pay her 3 pennies. Y'all, I don't know what y'all think we make, but I promise you it isn't what I thought I would be making. I can tell you that much. I can tell you that much. I was thinking, so Kidology made a video. This is a long time ago. She did a live stream, excuse me, not a video. And she was talking about what she makes as 100 and something thousand subscriber creator with tens and hundreds of thousands of views on her video. And she was like, I don't even make 1,000 a month. And I was like, that can't be true, because that would mean that you would have to be like a really super big super big YouTuber to get any type of like actual money. I think $1,000 a month is a lot of money, but she's also a much bigger creator than I am, and that was like her job. I have a job. Y'all know I'm a janitor in real life. No, it does not pay for my high-rise apartment. It definitely does not. It does not at all. But I will give her proceeds, and if she would like me to plug, I will plug. Now, I think this is very important. Let me pull this up because people are talking about the Joe Biden and Trump debate and the shooting, and like people are talking a lot about politics right now. So I think we should all watch this.
Dear Mother, happy birthday to you. Make a wish, Lord.
Desserts, model.
Whoa. Blow it out.
Get this woman in Congress immediately. Get her in the White House. Somebody get this woman a political career. Somebody please get this woman in the White House. She's 100 wait, what? Hold up. Okay, they said she looks amazing for 102. I don't know what looks good, amazing, bad. I don't know what looks. I have no idea what 102 looks like, so I'm gonna agree. She's so full of life. Now, why would you knock on wood? I don't like people who knock on wood. Sorry. Let's continue. Let's continue our journey.
Happy birthday, Dad! Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday.
Let's watch again.
Happy birthday, Dad! Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday.
I would walk back inside too. You're no kid of mine. You gonna drop my TV. Some child. You would not hear from me again. I'm not picking up the phone. Okay, let's see. What exercise is this? Somebody let me know. Why is it freezing? I hate that. I don't like this. I feel like my internet quality amazing. I do the Google speed test. Everything's amazing. 500 upload, 50 download. Excuse me, 500 download, 50 upload. Why is my video buffering?
Allez hop!
What exercise is this?
Alley-oop.
Please let me know. Someone in the comments, please let me know what exercise this is. Because I feel like y'all know and y'all are gatekeeping. So
Alley-oop.
someone let me know what exercise is this? What is he training? What muscle is he training? What is this for? I need to know.
Alley-oop.
Okay. Let's move on to our next exhibit.
Here comes two.
Whoa, that sounds like copyright music. So this is a woman. The woman recording says, I feel sorry for the girls who can't trust their best friends with their husband because this is my best friend and my husband. Look at how close they are. Look at how much fun they're having. This woman completely trusts her best friend and her husband. Like they are so, look at how they, hold on, let me, because it ended. Like these women out here today are insecure. They are just so afraid of letting their husband interact with their best friend at all. And here is this woman. She is trusting. And I love that for them. I love that for them. No, I was trying to, okay. This account is private. Y'all, so I have to describe the meme to y'all because these people privated their account. This was a pregnancy video. This woman was pregnant, showed her husband or boyfriend, whoever, the pregnancy test, and his reaction, I can't describe his reaction to you. Unfortunately, it is something that you would have to see. Maybe I can find it by looking at the TikTok. Let's see. Can I find it? Man reacts to pregnancy. Like maybe someone made a stitch of it or something. Like I promise I cannot describe his reaction to you. Oh, here it is. Uh-oh, not life coach Sean. Uh-oh. No, she gonna get ate up if life coach Sean got to her. Let's look at his reaction.
Right in front of me.
I had to mute copyright. Her explanation for his reaction. Let's see. He doesn't believe me because he didn't see the second line only until I started crying. So I just want to watch it one more time. Anyway, okay, so y'all saw the video. Now let's see what Sean has to say.
It's the fact that he doesn't really seem to share a genuine smile with her, or that he doesn't take his hand out of his pocket, or he doesn't seem to like hug her or console her, or there's no really affection or anything going on.
I don't need to hear what Sean said. We have already seen this 15, 11 million times before. Y'all already know what's going on. And the reason that video is private and I can't pull it up anymore is because she was in the comments defending her man. Y'all just don't know how he reacts. That's just how he reacts to any good news I give him. He always reacts like that. That's just his thing. Y'all just don't get him like I get him. Y'all are blowing this out of proportion. Blah, 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 blah. She was in them comments defending her man, and she probably couldn't take it, so she privated her account. Unfortunate. And here's another one. This man privated his account too. This is so annoying. Why is everybody private? Let me see if I can search it again. These people are tired of being embarrassed. They are tired of their husbands being on display. They are tired of it, and they have to answer questions like, why doesn't your husband look like he loves you? Oh, him looking like he doesn't love me, that's just like his normal state that he's always in when he's around me. The only time he's not like that is when he's around his friends or other women who aren't me. These people are saying, y'all need to stop attacking me and my husband. I'm sick of defending myself and my husband, and I'm gonna just private my account. They used to just turn the comments off and we could still watch the video and react to it, but we just can't comment, stitch, and duet. But now they just saying, nope, I'm privating it. Cool. With that being said, thank you everyone for joining. I really appreciate your presence here. Be sure to leave a like on the video. It helps the algorithm if you haven't already. Look at us getting out of here in under 2 hours. It's because y'all didn't hit the link to come up to talk to me, because I feel like y'all have it in it is your intention to make me go over time. That's what I feel like y'all come up here to do. I feel like it's a plot. I feel like you are all in on it. Yeah, I feel like it's a whole thing. But so the next video we're going to do, as you guys know, I invited, you probably already heard this if you were in the beginning of the stream. So you don't have to stay around if you don't want to. I'm just going to re-say what I said at the beginning of the stream. As you guys know, if you're in the Discord, probably, I reached out to, what is her name? I completely forgot her name, but I reached out to a woman. I'll show this a video. It's maybe like a minute long, right? So, and the title of the video, the title of my live stream is going to be God Saved Our Marriage. Hopefully we can get it done by Monday, if not Tuesday. I just need to finish my outline. But I reached out to the woman and I just got chills. I reached out to the woman. Look at all these videos. I cannot show y'all these videos. I can't. Whew. These are for our next live stream. Here, I can give y'all a teaser. It's only 60 people here. Where'd it go? That's so crazy. It's actually gone. So here's what I'll do. I'll share my screen. I will share my screen. God saved our marriage. So here's
Something
what
that I truly believe is that a lot of people are not.
No, this isn't the right one. Hold up. I'll let y'all watch this one while I look for it.
Married to the right person. And so when that marriage fails because they're not with the right person or they don't have the foundations of Christ within their marriage, they start to say, well, marriage is a problem. I will never be married again. I don't want to be married because it's this big commitment. And I think it's just strange because the way I view that is almost like you deciding to walk outside and it starts to rain. And now you're upset that the clouds have poured down rain and you're like, you know what? I don't want to go outside again. I'm not going to do it. But you have to understand that if you're going to go outside, there's a work that has to be done, right? So before I go outside, I'm going to check the weather. I'm going to see if I'm wearing the right clothes for the weather, because we can't stop the clouds from doing what they are supposed to do. And it's the same thing with marriage. Marriage is a covenant. Marriage has a purpose. So if you enter into marriage and you don't do the work that is required before entering into marriage, and then you get burned or hurt or rained on in marriage, you can't blame marriage.
Okay, I found one of the ones that I didn't find the one, but I found one of them. So we'll look at that. It's pretty quick.
My husband and I separated. There was infidelity, and at one point I was pregnant and he was with another woman. We were living in two separate states. I was living with my mom.
Now let me pause and say that is a wild intro. That is a wild intro, just raw, no rubber.
6 years ago, my husband and I separated. There was infidelity, and at one point I was pregnant and he was with another woman. We were living in two separate states. I was living with my mom. He was living with a friend of his, and we were basically living two separate lives. One of the hardest parts of the process being separated is not having people to support you. Most people will tell you to leave. No one agrees with it, and you kind of end up isolating yourself from your friends because the vision that God gave you looks completely different than what they think. At the time, the Lord told me, hey, I want you to go and tell people about what's going on and share your testimony because I believe that God was going to restore my marriage. So I ended up putting a video out there and telling people my story, what was going on. And over time now, it has spread so far, farther than I imagined. And since then, I have gotten a whole bunch of people who are married, men and women, asking me how I did it, telling them that it's been encouraging, but also needing a lot of help in the process. Now, 6 years later, my husband and I are in a better place than we could have ever been. We're in a completely different state. We are living together, and God is still restoring us and allowing us to walk in ministry and walk in what He's called us to do. So I decided to create a virtual workshop where we can all come together. It can be a group where we're just supporting.
I hope y'all are listening. She has a workshop for you ladies where you can learn something. Let's see what we can learn.
Each other, sharing our stories, but also me sharing some wisdom and some strategy that the Lord gave me through my walk. In this workshop, I want to talk about everything. A lot of questions I get surrounding intimacy and whether it's okay to have sex with your husband while you guys are separated. Other things like conflict resolution and effective communication in the midst of separation. And not only that, also what it's like when you guys come back together, because a lot of people think you're separated from your spouse. It's hard, but there's still more work that needs to be done when you all are restored. So it is a 3-day workshop. The first one starting tonight, 7 p.m. Central. We have one tomorrow, and then the following day, same time. So if you're interested in signing up, you can click the link in my bio and also send it to someone else you know who is going through it right now. They're separated from their spouse, but they are believing that God will restore it.
Oh, her workshop is tomorrow. I signed up. I don't know if you guys were here. It's a members only video or it's private. I don't remember which, but I made a video about this already, but we were very brief and we didn't actually dive into it because I was interested in talking to her. I invited her on because I have questions. I have questions. I have several questions. I invited her and her husband on. She did not respond. I also signed up for her workshop because we were in the Discord one day speaking about how I should reach out to her, and she has like a website where there's a contact form on the website where you put your name and email and stuff in and just send a message there, or you can email her, or you can email her and her husband's podcast, or she has sessions, right? She gives sessions that you can pay for if you need some advice. She has advice for you. Is it good advice? I don't know. I've never signed up for it. I don't think so. But I was planning to go to a session and just be like, oh my God, we love your work. Me and my subscribers are such huge fans. We watched so many of your videos and we feel that we can learn so much. And we want you here to give like your testimony. Right. So her workshop is tomorrow and I am signed up for it. So I think I might hold off. Well, I don't have to. I'm trying to put together the video for Monday. I am not lying. We are her biggest fans, and we did watch all her videos. We sat through that live stream and we watched so many of her videos. We are her biggest fans. That is not a lie. We watched all your videos. That is not a lie. We feel like we can learn so much from you. That is not a lie. I did not tell one lie when I reached out. I didn't tell a single lie. But tomorrow, since her workshop is open, I think I will attend and I'll ask if she and or her husband are interested. This is not a setup. Set her up to what? Without knowing why she took her husband back. Because God told her to. That's the only reason. He didn't improve. She took him back and he kept cheating for a while, but he stopped eventually. So she talked about a specific time where she was she's postpartum, then just gave birth, taking care of the baby. He didn't get a call, went in the other room, come back in the room, say he gotta go, abandon her to go be with that other lady. This happened several times over the next few months. This was, quote, after God brought him back in her life. They were married, by the way. This was like they've been married throughout everything I described, everything she was saying. They were married. Can you imagine ghosting somebody who you like? She said she didn't get in contact with him for the whole pregnancy. The only reason she found out that he was seeing another woman during her pregnancy is because I think she said either his mom, so her mother-in-law, might have said, "Oh, he's just having fun with her. Don't worry," or blah blah blah, blah something, right? Or she caught it from one of his coworkers. I'm not sure. I forgot how, but she didn't even. Can you imagine, like, you married to somebody and one day they disappear? You can't get in contact with them at all. That is wild. Ghosting your significant other while they're pregnant, it's wild to me. That is crazy. And what did she do for those 9 months while her mother-in-law saying, "Don't worry, they just having some freaky fun, freaking all over the place." I've never seen fun of this variety before. He's having so much. It feel like her mother-in-law, based on what she was saying, was telling her, "He don't want you, and you probably shouldn't. He having so much fun with her. You probably should just move on." That's what it felt like. But she said God told her to wait for him and for him to come back to her, and he did. And then after cheating a little bit more, he stopped eventually, and they've been married ever since. So I love that for her. And I do have questions, which is why I invited her on, because I have questions. So sorry, I read some of y'all comments. So no, what's crazy is I watched one of their recent, she and her husband have a podcast. I watched one of their recent episodes, and he was talking about how recently he almost walked out the house again and ghosted her and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, I just watched 17 podcasts in a row where you talk about, oh, after the cheating, everything, like, God healed it and nothing else happened. Our marriage is so much stronger now, blah, blah, blah. And now yesterday he talked about, oh, I almost walked out and left you again because they had an argument or something. I forgot why. So, anywho, she said y'all just jealous, and y'all jealous of her man and want him. And yeah, let me see. What did she say exactly? Let me see.
So funny that when somebody talks about going through infidelity in their marriage and they talk about God restoring it, it's automatically God is not in that. And I really do believe that it's the same people who don't really have a relationship with the Lord and may not have read the Bible the way that they think they have. Because yes, I understand that the Bible says that the grounds for divorce is adultery, but I think people also forget or don't remember that Jesus only permitted that because of the hard hearts of the Israelites.
Oh, I went and looked at some coverage of the Bible, right? Don't quote me on this because I haven't put together my outline yet. So grain of salt. And they was talking about the husband can go and sleep with other people, but the woman, if the woman goes out, specifically, if the woman goes out while she's married and sleeps with other people, it's adultery. If the husband does, it is not adultery. I was reading all types of stuff in this Bible. The King James, y'all. It ain't even the new one that they rewrote for young people to understand the words better. It's the King James they talk about. So she might have a point. She might have a biblical point. Because people was all in her comments saying, would he stay if you cheated? Would he stay if you cheated? Well, he might not need to, according to the Bible. That might not even be a point for y'all to argue on. Sorry, my apologies for interrupting.
Hard hearts being the people that were in my comments saying, I would never, God is not in this, I'm dumb, and speaking all these horrible word curses and evil things against my union. The Bible also said that God hates divorce. So how is it that when there's infidelity, people can say, oh, God ain't in that, but in every other facet of your lives, are you able to see that God is not in that as well? Or is that only saved for those who are going through infidelity or something that they would never, ever, could never see themselves going through? And I want to thank every single person that reached out to me and said that it was encouraging. There were a lot of people that said, Zay, I'm in the same situation. Thank you for talking about it. But what broke my heart is that those same people that messaged me said that they were too afraid to comment because they could literally see how they were tearing me apart in my comments. A lot of the
I'm pretty sure, I could be wrong. I'm pretty sure the first biblical ground for divorce is adultery. I could be wrong. When you say God hates divorce, that feels unusual a point when a biblical ground for divorce is adultery. Now, how does God feel about, does God say you divorced, so you're evil? Or does God say this person committed adultery and thus the divorce and that person who committed adultery is ultimately responsible? I hate divorce, but only because, but that doesn't mean that the person who did the divorce is at fault. I don't know. I don't claim to know what God thinks. But I do think, I could be wrong also, but I'm pretty sure divorce for adultery is permitted in the Bible. But again, men sleeping around, I don't know that that's considered adultery in the Bible. Men sleeping with unmarried women, sleeping with unmarried women, not other married women.
Comments, like I said, were very evil. A lot of very evil, bitter people projecting fear onto my marriage, into my union, talking bad about my husband, talking bad about something that happened 6 years ago in the beginning of our marriage. Nobody is God to tell me that that's not the plan that God had for my life. Nobody knows what that journey looks like. And I came on here to share because I knew that more people needed to have softened hearts. More people needed to understand that salvation is not saved for everybody else but adulterers. More people were offended at my story than I was. More people were upset for me. And again, I know that comes from a place of you're not willing to understand what forgiveness really looks like. You're not willing to love other people the way that Christ loves us. And I'm going to...
I never want that type of love. I pray that I never fall in love with someone that much. Oh, it's just a little cheating. It's just a little cheating. Who am I to judge? Who am I to judge? I stole a candy bar from the store when I was 13. We've all sinned. Who am I to cast a stone? Sorry.
continue to share what God does for me and my husband. I'm going to continue to...
Y'all need to see I'm trying to get out of here. We was at 2 hours. We was at 1 hour and 55 minutes. We almost made it out of here. I told y'all at 1 hour and 55 minutes that y'all are in cohorts. It is planned. But here, we'll listen to the rest of this, then we'll see the one from the husband, and then we can get out of here.
Love my husband and tell the world about what God is doing for us, because I am married to a man who has decided to make changes, a man who has been working to be better for me, for his children, a man who is willing and also is very open and honest about his own personal struggles. And there are a lot of men who are afraid to do just that because there are so many judgmental women who are not willing to show forgiveness and grace and mercy to these men.
A lot of men are afraid to admit that they cheated and lied and manipulated because if they did, the woman would leave. And if you would just have more sympathy and open heart, then he would tell you he's cheating on you. Well, yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. If somebody knows that they can lie to you and cheat on you and you gonna excuse it, then of course they would lie to you and cheat on you. But you know what's crazy? My friend was dating, not the friend that came on here, not Professor Raz. This was years ago. And I've told you guys this story before. My friend was dating this man. I'm not going to get into the man and my friend's relationship because it's very dusty and lengthy. But we find out this man has a wife, children. We find out a lot about him, right? We also find out he's cheating, both with his wife and other women, and my friend, because technically he's cheating on his wife too, and the other. Anyway, this is not about the love triangle, right? So my friend says, I have no idea why. We argued about this for a very long time. It's okay for you to sleep around. Just let me know and use protection. So if you sleep with someone, let me know. You don't have to give me all the details, blah, 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 blah. But that way I can go to the doctor and I can get tested whenever you go out and do whatever. My friend's logic was, okay, whatever. I can just This can just be friend with benefits, flings, what is it called? F buddy or whatever. Just let me know who you're sleeping with. Now, in my mind, this is like the ultimate win for the man who wants to sleep around. He just still lied. He still didn't tell. We found out because we found out he had a wife. We found out he had children. We found out a lot of stuff about him because we were investigating because he's sloppy. So we found out after she gave him a pass to cheat on her, not cheat. She said friends with benefits. I believe you're just saying, oh, you can cheat on me. It's okay. But since you cheated already, you can just keep doing it. Just let me know. She gave him a pass with conditions and he continued to cheat and lie about being with other people. Why are you lying about being with another woman? I know you've been with another woman and I've given you a pass. Why are you still lying? It's wild to me. Is wild. So I do believe even if you are this woman and you say, I forgive you for cheating, just don't do it again. And just tell me if it happens again, just tell me. I'm not going to leave. They still gonna cheat. I'm looking for, is it Jermaine Dupri? I don't think so. There's this celebrity and she was cheated on again and again and again and again and again and again and again. And she was like, okay, you know what? Here's a pass. Just let me know who you're sleeping with. Don't sleep with anyone in my bedroom and use protection. And was it Jermaine Dupri and Janet Jackson? It can't be. I don't believe that. It can't be. He cheated on her? What? Hold up, y'all, because I need to figure something out. This cannot be. This cannot be. Huh? No, this is not it. I need to go to Real Reality Gossip because that's where I learned the story from. But the point is, there was this celebrity who said, just tell me whenever
Honestly,
you
before you
sleep
fix your mouth to tell me that God is not in this.
tell me whenever you sleep with someone so I know. And this man still lied, like just had the pass. You can sleep around, you can do whatever, but it wasn't about, I feel like it is not about sleeping around. It is about manipulation. It is about lying. It is about cheating. It is about control. It's about a lot, but I don't think it's just about sex whenever men are going out and doing what they do.
And this is not God's plan for me. Please ask yourself, do I even have a relationship with the Lord? Am I in any place to talk about what God would or would not do for anybody else? And I'll say this for all the people that reached out to me and said, thank you, because I'm going through this right now. I'm telling you, God can do it. I don't care what nobody says. I don't care how crazy people look at you. I don't care.
Oh, she's talking to, by the way, the people who were in her comments saying, I'm going through this right now, praying God heals my marriage. And me and my wife going through this. I hope she forgives me. Like, it was all types of folks in her comments saying, I'm going through the same thing. Your story inspired me to keep fighting for my marriage. She got a lot of people who said they in the same boat. And this is what she's saying to them. Don't worry, God has a plan. He gonna fix it.
Nobody knows God's plans for your life. People don't even know God's plans for their own life because they don't have a relationship with him. That's neither here nor there. God can do it. And that's exactly why I gave my testimony, for all the people that did need it, for all the people that could see the way that I see, for all the people that do have the Holy Spirit and can bear witness to what I said, to knowing that God is in this, because God is a redeemer and he is a restorer. And the Bible says nothing is too hard for God. So why would I believe that in adultery, in infidelity, God can't do that? Thank you for your concern, but God bless. I don't really need it. I'm locked in with God. I'm locked in with my husband, and I'm continue to give God the glory.
It might not be God. It might be, have you considered that it might be Satan? It might be Satan. Important for people. Y'all wanted to see her husband, but I do want to reiterate, it might be Satan laying in that bed next to you. It might not be God. It might be Satan talking to you when you say you hear this divine voice, this spiritual. It might not. Is it good? Is it a good voice? Is it evil? Like, what is the voice that you're hearing? It might be God, or it might be. It might just be Satan. Didn't Satan whisper in Jesus's ear, look at all these treats. Oh my goodness, look at this, all of this stuff I have. You're in this dry desert. Don't you want some of this water? Doesn't Satan do that too, or am I tripping? Does Satan not influence people because I feel like you might want to like evaluate. This person is telling me something that seems evil. Is this God? Yeah, it's God. Yeah, probably. Yeah, sure. Yeah, he works in mysterious ways. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, I just don't understand it because I'm just a human, but it's probably God's plan. Got it. The way I talked to my pastor about something, and my pastor was like, "Nah, you're not hearing God. You hearing the devil." This was years ago. They were like, "No, you hearing worldly desires and blah blah blah. This ain't God talking to you. This is evil or something." I was like, "Okay, I didn't even know you could be talked to by evil." That's okay.
I think it's important for people, especially if they're going to be taking our advice about things. I think it's important for people to know that we're not perfect.
They know that. They know all of our business.
You would think they know that.
all
You would think they know
that.
that. But I feel like they think, oh, okay, I do what. This is just my opinion. I feel like they think if I do what Zay does, if I have enough faith, if this, that, and the third, if I pray enough, then my marriage is just going to be fixed. Everything's just going to be cool.
Oh, by the way, I think she just came out about the cheating. He cheated on her. This was 5 years ago when he abandoned her while she was pregnant to sleep with that girl for the whole 9 months. And then after too. This was 5 years ago, but I think in her original video, she said God told her it was time to share her story and help other people like her get through it. So I was about to say, why would anyone be looking at your marriage and thinking, oh my God, they have it so perfect, without knowing what's going on behind closed doors? But it is entirely possible that they have never shared this story until now, and that they've had a following of people who believe their marriage is just so amazing and godly without knowing that what happened.
But like, yo, I slept in my car. What was it, 2 weeks ago?
Yeah.
I slept in my car.
2 weeks ago.
Like that's how bad our argument got. Where I'm sleeping in my car. Like, yeah, now I'm gone. Tomorrow I'm packing up my stuff. That's how bad. But here we are.
No, but you're right though.
2 weeks ago. This is a recent video, by the way. Well, now it's a month. So 1 month ago, he was about to pack his bags and leave. Oh my goodness, God! Why did I have questions like about your interpretation of God and why? Like, the question is actually why? Why was it God's plan for this man to lie to you, cheat on you, abandon you, and for you to struggle your whole pregnancy alone? And then after your child is born, he continues to lie, cheat, leave you alone to raise a child, but eventually comes back. And then years later, he walk out again. Why did God do that? Like, why do you think? I know we can't. As a human, I personally believe we cannot fathom the thoughts of God. We cannot fathom their thoughts. This is a supposedly omnipotent, omniscient, omnipresent being. I cannot fathom what God thinks as much as an ant can't fathom what I think. So that's my personal beliefs, right? So that's not what I'm asking her. What I'm asking her is, what do you think why do you think God has like this plan for you? That's my question. Like, break it down for me. Like, this gonna get, once I get to heaven, I'm gonna be super favored because of everything I like. You gotta sweeten the deal for me so I can understand what do you get out of this? This gonna get me into heaven for sure, all this charity work I'm doing.
And like recently I did that podcast and she was saying that she was like, people need to understand that you can have faith, great. You want to pray, great. But there is a will and a work in the other person. Like you praying, yes, we know what the Bible says about that. Like God can, change the heart of a person and do all that stuff, which is true, right? But like the other person actually has to like want it and like want to do the work and want to change because we do have free will. And I'm glad she said that because you're right. Like
I'm glad you brought it back to that too.
Yeah.
It's a fact.
Yeah, because I know what the Bible says, but like we also do have free will, and I don't believe that God would just impede on our free will.
Faith without works, facts.
Yeah. So
awesome. Here's Raz's Instagram. Thank you all for suffering through this with me. I appreciate that I did not lose brain cells alone. I want you guys to remember that men control trees, women control fruit. It was not Adam's fault because Eve controls Fruit, not Adam. So Raz's Instagram is RazzleTayB. That is where you can follow her if you're interested in her content. She does a lot of hair and makeup. She's actually very good at that stuff if you're interested in that as well, not just like social issues. So there it is. Be sure to give her some credit for her work here. Some like, something, subscribe. I don't know if you can subscribe on Instagram, follow or something. Now, the last part of our stream will be subscriber shaming the people who are not subscribed. Let's see if I can pull up the analytics. Will it let us see who's subscribed today is the question. Yes, it will. And I don't like that YouTube is bipolar and sometimes they let me see and sometimes they don't. But let's check it out. So 82.4% of y'all are not subscribed. Let me zoom in on it so we can see it. 82.4% are not subscribed. Excuse me, 82.4% of you are subscribed. 17.6% of you are not subscribed. Let's see, 62 people. Let me pull up the calculator so I can figure out how many that is exactly. So we have 62 people times 0.17 equals 10.91 of you are not subscribed. 10.91. I need to talk to 10 people. 11. I need to talk to 11 people. Come outside. We're just here to talk. We not gonna jump you. I just want to know why. That's all. I just want to know why. That is all. Oh, I should be checking the likes too, but every time I check the likes, y'all say I'm doing it wrong. I need to refresh. I refresh it. It still doesn't update. Let's check the likes on the video. We are at 7 likes. There are 55 people in here. There are 7 likes. Let me scroll down to the likes. 7 likes. I am disappointed. I never thought I would have to give y'all a talking to. Razzle is dazzling in somebody's DMs. Perhaps. But what she should be dazzling in is this like button. I'm gonna ask if she hit it actually. Did you hit the like button? There. So with that being said, oh, y'all said 60 likes, 61 likes. So y'all not even on the same accord. Y'all not even on the same accord. And this happens every time. Your enemies are cloud watching. Let me find out. Okay. With that being said, thank you guys for joining. There's Roseanne's info if you want to follow her. Men control trees, women control fruit. Thank you for liking, subscribing, and sharing, and commenting, and being here. Have a good Saturday night. I might go outside to the block party because they decided to have a block party right outside my window. I don't think you guys have heard it during the live stream, thankfully, but we out here. So y'all have a good Saturday night. See you Monday. Oh, here, how could I forget? Let me give y'all some.
I come and slap by 8 p.m. and send a text to your DM. Come and slap by 8 p.m. I come and slap by 8 p.m. and send a text to your DM.